Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new YouTube video series brought to you by the American Civil War Gaming Club. If you'd like more information on who we are and what we are about in the American Civil War Gaming Club, you can go to acwgc.net and check us out there. If you enjoy the WDS games and are looking for others who share your love of history and gaming, you will find a home with us. We have hundreds of active members, we're free to join, and we've played over 25,000 games since we were formed back in 1997. So come check us out, we're open 24/7 and we'd love to have you as a member. Man versus artificial intelligence. Chances are that may sound like the beginning of a science fiction movie. But given the rapid advances in AI technology, it is becoming an increasingly relevant topic in today's world. But for those of us playing the WDS games, it's not really a scary topic or anything we haven't been discussing for quite a while. After all, we've been playing against the artificial intelligence since the Clinton administration. Likely, the very first opponent you played in a WDS game was the artificial intelligence. And maybe you still prefer to play against the AI, or maybe you prefer to play against an actual human opponent these days. Either way, the AI remains an important part of the WDS games and deserves to be discussed in greater depth. This series will seek to do just that. I am going to pose and answer 5 different questions in this video series. The first is whether or not the AI, as it is currently constructed, poses a challenge to an experienced player. By experienced, I mean someone like myself, who has been playing these games for quite a long time against both the AI and human opponents. Ideally, any AI system should remain challenging to a human opponent regardless of their skill level. So is that the case with these games? The next question is, why does the AI exist? It may sound like a question with an obvious answer, but is it? With so many games being marketed these days exclusively as multiplayer games, why does WDS bother to maintain and update the AI system? We'll take a look at that as we progress. We will then examine how the AI works behind the scenes. The AI actually works in a number of different ways and can be altered by the designers to do a number of different things. We will look at all of that, along with what the designers themselves have to say about the AI. We will then address the differences and the advantages of both head-to-head and man versus AI games. Do humans always pose a greater challenge? And what kind of facts and data can I use to back up the assertion that the two are not equal? We'll answer that as well. Lastly, I will touch upon the future of the AI in the WDS Civil War series as I see it. Remember, I am not associated with WDS, and so it is all just my opinion on where I would like to see them go with the AI and what I believe needs to be addressed if WDS continues to invest in AI technology. But for today, we're going to start with question number 1. Does the AI currently pose a challenge to an experienced player? Now, I've been playing these games for a very long time, and I like to think that I'm a very advanced player when it comes to this series of games. So does the AI pose a threat to me as an experienced player? Well, there's only one way to find out. Shall we play a game? Let's do it. I am going to take on the artificial intelligence using Campaign Antietam, specifically the Battle of Antietam itself. So I'm going to take on the AI in scenario number 31, the Battle of Antietam. Now, before someone puts it down in the comments that this is not the hardest possible game to play, after all, there is an AI challenge of this game, I'm still going to play this one, and I'll explain why later on. So in this game, I will be playing the part of Robert E. Lee, the commander of the Confederate forces, and the artificial intelligence will be playing as McClellan, which might actually be an improvement on McClellan himself. Alright, the rules that I am going to use in this game, nothing out of the ordinary here. I do have artillery capture turned off, that's just a personal preference of mine. There is one house rule that I am making for myself in this game, and that is I'm not going to do any gamey playing. And by gamey playing, I just mean I'm not going to ride around behind enemy lines looking for wagons or leaders or guns. I'm just going to play a clean game, let the artificial intelligence come to me, and just play it normally. Alright, the backstory with the battle, chances are you are already familiar with this, so I'm not going to read it to you. The Federals are attacking Lee's army. That's all you really need to know. Alright, the armies themselves and the breakdown of their manpower. The Confederates have just over 36,000 men, and the Federals just over 82,000. The Federals have well more than twice as many infantrymen as the Confederate side, but the Confederates enjoy a higher quality rating. Both sides have a lot of artillery in this battle, and I expect it to be a very violent affair along Antietam Creek. Alright, my plan for this battle. As the Confederates, I have Stonewall Jackson's corps up on my left flank, and James Longstreet's corps generally on my right. Jackson has his 3 divisions, Ewell's, D.H. Hill's, and his old division itself, up on the left. His corps has been reinforced by John Bell Hood's division from Longstreet's corps. And Jackson will defend our center and our left flank in this battle. He will be aided by Jeb Stuart's cavalrymen, which will protect our extreme left as best they can. Meanwhile, Longstreet will protect our right flank and send troops where needed, either to Jackson or to the center with D.H. Hill. Alright, the battle begins. Let's kick this thing off, and let's find out whether or not the AI can pose a challenge to me as an experienced player. Alright, well this is how the battlefield looks at the very start of the game, and now I'm going to progress turn by turn. Alright, this is the way the battlefield looks at the end of turn number 1. Obviously, I cannot see the Federal Army in this battle because I have the fog of war turned on. Now, it is dawn, so there is only a 4 hex visibility range, which means that there's been no enemy sightings yet. But that's okay because right now, I'm just doing a whole lot of moving with my Confederate forces. And it's going to take me a few hours to get all of my men and guns situated and where I want them to be. Now, I have divided up Jones's division, but I have no choice. Jones already has a very small division in this battle, and it's never a good idea to separate forces in any battle where your commander cannot be over immediate control of all the different pieces. But at a battle like Antietam, sometimes, especially as the Confederates, you have no other choice. So I'm going to send part of his division up to the center of the battlefield and protect the Boonesboro Road, heading into Sharpsburg itself, and the other part of his division will stay over by Burnside's Bridge and protect our right flank. The end of turn number 2 now, and hello AI. So I was expecting them to arrive about this turn on the next one. I'm not really worried. I have enough guns and men up around the cornfield area to where I can resist anything that the AI throws at me. At least I sure hope so. And generally speaking, I'm still moving around my forces and trying to get everyone into position. Turn number 3 now. And the AI just stepped right into a giant mess. And that's the thing with the AI. They don't always make the best decisions. So let's actually zoom in on this part of the map here and take a look at what the AI did exactly. So the Federals in Seymour's brigade attacked right between D.H. Hill's division and the right flank of Ewell. They could not have chosen a worse spot to attack. They were completely unsupported, and they just attacked right between two larger forces, and it really wasn't a hard decision for me at all to choose to counterattack and quickly eliminate this AI brigade. Now, I don't consider this a gamey move because when the enemy puts its head into a bear trap, that trap is going to spring shut. And that's exactly what happened in this situation. I launched a quick counterattack by 3 of D.H. Hill's brigades, and I have isolated the majority of Seymour's brigade. I should be able to bag them during the next turn. Overall, my defensive line is starting to take shape. As I said, I have Stewart over on my extreme left, and then I have Jackson's division with Ewell in my center and D.H. Hill over on my right. Meanwhile, Hood's division remains in reserve. Alright, zooming back out now to the overhead map, I'm going to progress to turn number 4. And I was able to capture 4 of the 5 regiments from Seymour's brigade in front of D.H. Hill's division. Meanwhile, over here in the cornfield area, let's go ahead and zoom in because the AI has done something which is classic AI and which drives me nuts. So here we have the AI attacking against my lines south of the cornfield, but they're attacking in column formation. And really, there's just no excuse for that ever. I was able to very easily strike these forces here with catastrophic gunfire and wipe out hundreds of men while they're still in column formation. And this sort of thing should never happen with the AI in these games. You know what? It's actually embarrassing. If the AI performs that poorly in these games, it shouldn't even be called artificial intelligence, because there's no intelligence with that move. I'll address things like this more later on in this series, but it's something that needs to be addressed with the AI because when these boneheaded mistakes happen, it just doesn't look good and it's kind of ridiculous. Alright, moving forward to turn number 5 now. Well, the Iron Brigade charged part of Early's brigade and overran a few of my regiments, and they ended up capturing 3 of my guns. Unfortunately, as with Seymour's brigade, they attacked unsupported, and they were quickly surrounded. Now, when it comes to the WDS games, one of the first lessons that you learn if you play against human opponents is to never attack without proper support. But that's exactly what the AI has done twice already in just 5 turns. And you're always going to pay heavily if you attack without proper support. In this instance, the Iron Brigade is now in some serious trouble. Along with that, during this turn, there were 3 federal leaders that went down. Meade was wounded, Duryea was wounded, and Gibbon was captured. So again, just turn number 5, I've already greatly damaged 1 federal brigade, I'm about to damage or capture another one, and I've taken out 3 federal leaders. It's not looking good for the AI. Moving to turn number 6 now in the game. And as expected, the Iron Brigade was bagged by the Texans of Hood's brigade. Once the Iron Brigade got isolated, they really had no hope to escape, and they were taken out of the battle. So far, if I'm just being honest, the AI is posing no real challenge to me up to this point. The AI is attacking piecemeal, and they are attacking without proper support. Those are 2 of the biggest mistakes you can make when playing these games. The AI is also not firing at long distances with all of their guns. Why are they not firing with their artillery with every chance that they get? It doesn't really make much sense. And I shouldn't even have to worry about that because the default settings for the AI should be to fire at the maximum range. Especially at a battle like Antietam where they have an endless amount of artillery ammunition. So again, that's something that needs to be addressed within the AI by the folks over at WDS. Alright, moving to turn number 7 now in the game. You can see my forces are starting to become more stationary as I've gotten most of my army where I want it to be. Up in the north, there was another frontal attack by Union Brigade, which attacked unsupported and was easily repulsed in front of Yule's division. Alright, well, let's go ahead and take a break here. I've already gone through 7 turns in the game. And how do the losses look at this point? Well, it's not looking good for the AI. They've already lost 4,176 men, along with 4 of their leaders. I've lost 611 men, along with 4 of my guns. So overall, the Federals are already at a major defeat status in this game. And we're only 7 turns into it. It's probably not going to get much better for them as we progress. But maybe they'll turn it around, and maybe the AI will pose a greater challenge as more of their forces are released and as the day progresses. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it as always. Be sure to continue to watch this Man vs. Artificial Intelligence series. We're going to answer all those questions that I posed earlier, and I'll continue to bring you my turns against the AI in the games that I play against them. Alright, for more information on our club, remember you can go to acwgc.net to check us out there. We would love to have you join us and play these games with us. They're always a lot of fun. Alright, until next time everyone, just keep gaming.